while I make some little edits to the scoreboard and whatnot.
Sure. Well, Splyce is coming in. Like, everyone knows what Splyce is all about. Like, I have to say, like, this team, you put these 3 parts together, and the sum isn't, like, all you get. Like, I would have to multiply a little bit. Let's add some math. Like, these guys are all about teamwork on Splyce. And these guys, like, by themselves, probably aren't the greatest players in the world, like, world class. But as a team, they really show up big. And we see here Karma going for a double tap, but doesn't have enough boost. But Splyce is in control right now, and that's all that really matters. And again, we get a double commit. That comes out from Blue, but they still get the ball out. And Jwiz, big defensive play. And Jwiz is one of those players that I always like to watch on this team, because he has a really low floor. Like, at times, he can kind of dip down and not play that well, but his highs are some of the highest in all of Rocket League. Like, he can pop off in any moment. So I really want to see how that turns out. Right there, he almost gets that shot. Nosedude with the dunk. And there we go. Splyce with an early lead and basically controlling this whole game besides one scoring chance from Revelation.
Yeah, and right as you mentioned it, Jwismont kind of making that happen. Nosedude with a nice follow-up. That's kind of something I noticed about Jwiz as well. He's a very active player, and he likes getting involved. And he's really fast. He's good. He can do it. So it's been really cool to see his impact on the team. And I feel like Splyce, they've got playmakers, and that's really important for a Rocket League team. Got to have those playmakers, and that's a nice start to this game.
We see here again, the ball is just in blue half. That's all that's going on right now. Right there, we see a ground pinch from Jwiz because he figured he didn't have many other options. Because Zombie was up on the wall, so he couldn't really go off the backboard, and I think actually just died. Not sure what happened there. Sure, he dropped something. But finally, the ball goes into the orange half. Nosedude, not the greatest touch, and the ball goes out mid, but Zombie, he just came back from grabbing boost, was not available for that pass.
You still got me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
And you were mentioning earlier how we're looking out for those matches that are going to be a little bit closer. Well, what do you think about Revelation here? How likely are we to see an upset?
So I was saying earlier, like, they took the Peeps to 7 games just last month in the Renegade Cup. So these guys can play. Like, this has upset potential. Like, at this point, the pros cannot be going for their crazy passes off the backboard. Right there, we see Karma with just an easy dribble. She gets the bump. I don't even know if it was needed. It looked like she kind of faked out the defense here by going low and just going for a softer touch. Oh, it did look like it was needed.
She got a bump in there, too.
Yeah, so that bump was needed. It was hard to tell through my auto cam that I was watching, but there we go. Another solo play, or the first solo play from Splyce. And Karma's going to be the one that normally does those solo plays for this team. And then a kickoff goal, and that spells trouble right now for Revelation. They're probably going to have to start looking at game number 2, because 3-0 lead. We still have a lot of time on the clock, but they need to start getting something going.
Yeah, you know, Nosedude, great pressure, great aggression there, sticking with the ball, great 50-50s, and just muscling that ball on the blue side. And that was all Nosedude right there. Splyce keeping it up, applying the pressure, keeping the pressure on. All good things here from Splyce. And if I'm them, I just keep pouring it on. Yeah. Well, you know, I think days like this, you want to play the same the entire day, and you want to just keep getting better as the day goes along. Just keep pouring on the pressure. Don't ever change what you're doing, and just keep putting the goals in. So, well, Splyce off to a great start here as Revelation trying to get some offense going. Only 2 minutes to go here, so not too much time to make up all this ground. And you know, Splyce, I'm very curious about this team. I'm very curious how they're going to do this weekend today, and how they're going to do in RLCS.
And I think the big question is just the grind from all these teams, because they've had off for a really long time if they didn't go to E-League. So, like, a lot of these teams, they took a little bit of a break, but, like, it all comes to a head on this weekend, basically, where only 2 teams advance. Yeah. So you have to be, like, at your very best right now to have a chance for $100,000 in Vegas. And that's a tough ask for the very first tournament, like, of the year, to have to, like, play so extremely well. So we'll see how all these teams kind of shape up. Because, again, a lot of people took breaks, which is needed, you know, at times, because Rocket League can, like, really burn you out after a while.
Yeah, and, you know, there's clearly a strategy to the offseason as well. You know, sometimes this tournament might have popped up for some teams. They didn't know as much about it. You know, an invitational type tournament in January. Pretty small amount of teams, but a pretty significant prize pool. So what's always curious for me in the offseason is like, all right, when do you take your break? And when do you get back going, and how often are you playing, and how much of a break do you take? And I think that answer is different for each team. Cloud9 might take a little bit of a longer break because of how well they did. Whereas a team like Splyce, I don't know how much of a break there is at all. If I'm Splyce and I know there's other teams making changes, and I know this is my opportunity, maybe only a week break, maybe even less, to really just, you almost have to keep on playing in the break. You have to keep that grind going and getting that mental standpoint, and that's what you have to do in RLCS these days to be the best. So I fully expect Splyce, like, almost did not take a break. If I were them, just, play as hard as you freaking can, because this is your chance to make something happen in RLCS.
And as we were saying before, like, I like roster changes, but for this tournament, I do not like roster changes. Like, all these teams do not have a lot of practice together, so teams like Splyce can definitely play spoilers and try and make it to this LAN, because they've been playing together for so long that they don't need to worry about just like, let's try and just practice for a week straight and hope we can iron everything out. That's not the point of these roster changes. It's 3 months, 4 months down the line when they're getting ready for the World Championship. Like, that is why you make these roster moves, not for like, oh man, now we have to play for a week straight and hope that we're like top 3 or top 4 in North America to make it to this $100,000 LAN, because we have Leipzig qualifiers probably next week, I think it is. And it doesn't matter as much for that, because it, like, say you don't qualify or don't do that well, like, you can show up anyway. So you'll have more practice time and then play at that LAN. But for this, there's only 2 spots and that's it.
It's brutal. It's brutal, and it's kind of off, off pace a little bit with what the pros might be used to. And for me, I think it's pretty fun. There's an angle there. It's like, hey, we got this big tournament we didn't necessarily expect. Who's ready? Who's ready to go? There's no definitive date on when you're supposed to be ready as a Rocket League team. We might have even more tournaments that we don't know about. So I think it's a great test to see, all right, who's keeping their chemistry and their style going from not too many months ago, and who can show up and play. And we'll see if there are any teams that kind of come out of the woodworks and surprise some people.
Change the overlay, if you haven't.
No, I don't want people to see the game. I want to audio commentate it so no one sees it. There we go. We're back. We're in the game.
2 shots from Zombie. Nothing threatening. It's okay. No worries.
Probably change the score too. Okay, we're all caught up.
There's a lot of moving parts for Axel here. Like, he's a one-man army right now.
It's a ton of fun though. You gotta love weekends like this. You have ridiculously massive open brackets. What's better? What's better than that? As we see Revelation, Karma a little bit slow doing anything with the ball there, and she thought she had a little bit more time. Looked like she was about to flick it, but ZPS from Revelation able to sneak in there and get the first goal for Revelation.
And that was like 53 seconds of Revelation just holding down Fort and getting some really good 50-50. So it finally turned into a goal, and this is exactly what they needed after game number 1. Like, you go down versus a team that's supposed to beat you, you want to show up somewhere. And now in game number 2 is the perfect time. And we'll see if they can get another one here. No, off the post from Zombie. Nosedude tried to make the save, but really couldn't get up in time because it was a great pass there from Alpha. But now Splyce on the counterattack. Zombie should be able to clear this, but like, this is what Splyce does best, is just control that midfield and just keep that possession right here. 2 good touches in a row. And that touch from Karma, actually not the greatest because it was softly down to Zombie, or ZPS as he's called here. But we'll see it go back and forth a bit, but I think Revelation right now is looking pretty good for game number 2. There's a lot of time to be played, and it's only 1 goal, but there's a bump in net from Tcorell, but it doesn't turn into a scoring opportunity there.
Yeah, there's a chance. Certainly a lot of pressure here from Revelation. They have a 1-0 advantage, trying to extend that a little bit. Great dunk from Alpha, trying to redirect that to the goal, but Karma is there on defense. Splyce needs to clear, and they got to get a goal back. I'm loving the pressure that we're seeing from Revelation. The ball is staying on the orange side right now, and Splyce is actually struggling to play defense and get the ball out of there. One of the slowest goals I've ever seen. Okay. Alpha, 30 miles an hour. Gonna sneak that in the left corner.
Yeah, Nosedude just not a great clear there. He didn't have a ton of boost, but he had enough to make a better clear than that. And he just threw it low and in the center, and that's exactly where you do not want to put the ball. and no one else from Splyce was available. They were basically getting boost starved back there. And again, we're seeing like a good team here, like Revelation. They know how to play the game. They know how to boost starve versus the very best, and they're showing it here.
Yeah, might have a series on our hands. Remember, if you're just now tuning in, Splyce is currently up 1-0. We're in the upper bracket here in the North America Open qualifier for WSOE4, the Rocket League Showdown. So Splyce has some room to work with, but they definitely want to keep momentum on their side. Some interesting movements there in the middle.
That was very interesting. Karma, she
demo.
faked the dribble and then just left the ball, and both her and Nosedude went for demos and left Jwiz for a 50-50. That was extremely dangerous by Splyce, but it didn't hurt them.
And there we see a goal from Splyce, yeah, on the other end. Looks like
Nosedude, he throws it off the post, and just no one's in net. Like, that was actually wide open net. He tried to place it on the right side, and Zombie just has to wait for that ball to come out. He wasn't sure exactly how to read it off the post. He thought maybe that's going to go like across his goal line, so he was trying to defend that. As soon as it doesn't, it's all over. That's an easy goal for Splyce.
Got to keep it up now. And again, as I was saying, you know, in tournaments like this, you really want to get that momentum and hold on to it. Keep it from every single possession, carry it on through, and just pour on the goals if you have to. So Splyce, they're going to be looking at, for that again. Nosedude gets a demo, but on the other side, Alpha able to get a demo, and now the pressure from Revelation on opportunity on net is gonna miss. And now Jwiz on defense, Splyce trying to get it out of their half, but Revelation applying so much pressure with just about a minute left. 70 seconds left, and they're up by 1.
There's a lot of pressure, but again, they're only up by 1. They had 2 chances there on wide open nets, and they missed them both back to back. And against a team like Splyce, those are the ones you want to put home and just get that nice 2-goal cushion so you're allowed to make 1 mistake. We might get it here, and there it is. Great location there from Zombie. We see Jwiz. He's trying to rotate in from after grab and boost. And again, Nosedude, not the greatest clear, but that was all because of Tcorell. It was just a 50-50. He completely stops Nosedude, and Zombie cleans it up.
That's awesome for Revelation. It's exactly what they want. Splyce maybe a chance or two with time expiring, but Revelation able to get another goal, push their lead to 3-1 here with 45 seconds left. And now we get to see Splyce with a little bit of a sense of urgency here. They got to score. So Jwiz throwing a ball to the middle to Karma. Karma going for a double touch, but just barely missing. And Revelation going to keep control. Jwiz in the middle, trying to keep it on the blue side. Karma down below, going to pull it up the wall, up to the ceiling, trying to get some sort of angle towards the goal, but Tcorell is there with the clear over to ZPS. And Revelation is going to hold on to this offense. So Splyce under pressure. Looks like they're not going to be able to get these goals unless they can figure out something pretty quickly.
So the one thing I like there from ZPS, like even though they have a 2-goal lead, he was trying to demo Dude with a nose. Like, and he was playing that third man all the way back in the midfield while Splyce had the ball. He's trying to just cut that out of their defensive rotation. Right here we see a miss from Alpha, but it's not going to matter. And the game goes to Revelation. And we got a tied series, and now we're going to start seeing, again, we are going to see competitive Rocket League from now on throughout this entire tournament. So I hope you guys are ready for a lot of good Rocket League.
Yeah, and at the same time, I'm gonna keep the camera on the game just so I don't have to worry about switching image. It happens so fast. Like, look, we're already in the next game.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're ready.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also want to say, Lethamir, I see you in the chat, buddy. I see you over there in the chat, Lethamir. So the winner of this match plays against Ghost. I'm pretty sure.
Ooh, Lethamir scouting out.
Pretty sure. If someone can like triple check me on that.
I will. Axel, that's why I'm here, right?
Thanks, man. I believe the winner of this plays against Ghost. Lethamir is getting ready in the chat. And I feel like we'll just go right into that match after this, probably. The winner of this against Ghost will probably be the next match we cover on stream. Just so people are prepared and ready for what's to come.
And that's a quality double touch there by Nosedude off the backboard. Perfect play. He has all the boost. He has 100. The kickoff went directly to him. That's a set play. And Nosedude does not miss those. And we almost get another kickoff goal here from Jwiz, but Revelation, they get the ball out, but that's 2 kickoff goals against them now. Splyce with those set plays with their coach Jimmer, maybe helping out there a bit. Let's see if that can continue on these kickoffs.
You know, kickoff goals are pretty nice when you can pull them off. There's nothing better, you know? early on in the game, get a nice 1-0 advantage. That's exactly what Splyce does, following it up with a nice pass play to go up 2-0. That's Karma to Jwiz. Karma going for the shot, probably could have scored it, but Jwiz doing a great job flanking.
So that was all planned, yeah, for sure. Like, because Karma is trying to bait out that goalie. Because there is a goalie there. She might have been able to squeak it in, but the more high percentage play is to just throw it off the wall, and that's such a good pass. It's such an easy shot. And as soon as that goalie falls for it and kind of dives, it's all over, and that's the easiest goal ever for Jwiz.
Yeah, and as I was saying, you know, kickoff goals are so wonderful and remarkable. If you can ever do it, it's a great feeling. If you ever give it up, it's horrible. But Splyce starting off with that is one of the best things that can happen in a game as important as this. And turning that momentum into a second goal. So I'm really looking out for Splyce. Keep on the pressure, keep on the shots. Nosedude with a really good effort there to the top left-hand corner. Jwiz staying on offense. Karma trying to finish that off. Nosedude is there in support. So Splyce doing a great job. Just got to keep the ball on that blue side and just keep pouring on the pressure.
Yep, and it's so important to just grab all those boosts when you can, because even if you make a mistake on offense or do a weak shot, they have no boost to counterattack, so you'll probably keep possession anyway, because they really have to worry about grabbing that. And Nosedude, a good 50-50 there. Going to keep possession there for Splyce.
If you're just now tuning in, you are watching the North America Open Qualifier for WSOE4. This is a massive double elimination, best of 5 bracket. Only the top 2 will get a trip to compete in Las Vegas at the WSOE4 tournament, which means, Gibbs, you're welcome to stay as long as you want. I'm not sure exactly how long today will be, but our upper final match and our lower final match will be the deciding matches to see who gets to Vegas, so people know what's going on as we see ZPS from Revelation score a goal there from the side, following it up pretty fancy to bring it back a little bit. But yes, this is the round of 16 in the upper bracket. Splyce and Revelation are tied 1-1, best of 5.
And every single win that you can get in the upper bracket is going to help you so much. It'll make a shorter run through the lower bracket. And of course, if you can just make it through the upper bracket, that's what you want. But it's a long lower bracket because you have to go through the entire thing.
Yep.
So you really want to stay up here as long as possible and then have the least amount of games down there. And right there, Karma, like, she had a kind of not the greatest play on defense. It's not what you want from Splyce when you're up 2-0, but these games are close, and Revelation is trying to keep up, and they're doing a really good job. Like, this is going to possibly go to 5. We'll see if Splyce can kind of nail down this game, and they do right there. Nosedude, like, there's still plenty of time, but a 2-goal lead is great, and that's a shot you have to make. And Karma, she puts on that pressure. She kind of misses the ball, but that doesn't matter because it makes the goalie come out and force a bad rebound, and Nosedude is there to clean up with a great placement of a shot.
Yeah, especially 2-on-1 situation there. Karma probably should have scored, but really good awareness there from Nosedude just to make sure they get the goal. And that's what Splyce wants. Up 3-1. Again, what they want, just keep on pouring on the pressure. Get those plays happening and make the goals happen, as we see Nosedude trying to keep the ball on that blue side, but Alpha coming back the other way. Karma is there. Nice 50-50. Get a challenge underneath and push the ball to that blue corner. Tcorell, a little bit of an awkward spot on the wall. Karma going to try to take advantage. Jwiz looking for an opportunity in the middle, but Alpha's going to clear it to the other side. And Revelation, they need to find some offense here. 2 minutes left, plenty of time, but you know, better late than never. Time to start trying to get a goal here because Splyce can really lock it down defensively if they put their mind to it.
Oh, nice bump there from
Yes,
and Tcorell gets the goal. It was a great pass. It was a great challenge. And then just the icing on the cake here. He wins that challenge and bumps Karma out of the way. And Tcorell, easy finish. And that's what you want. Like, don't go for anything crazy on your scoring chances. But when you're down 2 goals, you have to pick your battles. And you pick a few more than you normally would. But that one was just easy as pie. Now we're down to just a 1-goal game again. Splyce is looking a bit shaky, but I think that's because Revelation playing really well.
Yeah, and ZPS really making that last goal happen. All that pressure, and we saw it just there. He's doing a little air dribble, really keeping Splyce on their toes. So Splyce definitely wants to keep it on this side. Nosedude trying to float one over to Karma, but she misses, and then Jay was a little bit late on picking things up on the back end. And now Revelation going to turn that around into some offense. Tcorell passing over to the middle to Alpha. But looks like Jwiz on defense there. Karma looking for a clear. Going to slow play it a little bit. Tcorell going to jump in, send it to the middle, trying to knock it down to Alpha. But I believe that's Karma there getting in the way. And look at this Revelation. Just continuing to apply the pressure, and Splyce having to come up with some pretty good saves, looking for a clear to get rid of this offense.
It's extremely dangerous. Like, Nosedude's been playing a lot of goal line defense here, and it looked like Revelation was trying to take him out, but they just barely missed him, so Nosedude could make the save. And we see Jwiz, he's hanging on that back wall a lot, trying to play that back wall defense, but right now Splyce is hurting. They don't have a lot of boost, but that clear from Nosedude should give them a little bit of breathing room and maybe get some boost. And that interception as well from Jwiz. Now Splyce is okay. They don't have to worry too much about being on defense with a very low boost.
Yeah, Nosedude had a pretty critical boost pickup in his own corner, where Revelation just pouring on the pressure. But finally, Splyce able to break out of that a little bit. Only 1 goal ahead, so they really have to hold on here. Just 5 seconds left, but Nosedude gonna keep it on the blue side, and that should secure it here for Splyce. They're trying to knock it down to the ground. It's exactly what Nosedude does, and Splyce is gonna take a 2-1 advantage in this best of 5, which means they are 1 win away from advancing on in the bracket. The winner of this plays against Ghost. And
it should be a juicy game.
Once again, Lethamir is being a little sneaky sneakster in the chat, so he's watching this pretty closely, maybe.
And like talking about that bracket as well, we already have some upsets coming out. Nefarious took down Evil Geniuses.
No way.
3-1, and so they will play Perfect Storm in the quarterfinals, which is of course Jacob, Jolo, and Chrome, and then.
Wait, is that
Afterthought
happening soon, or is that
already is
projected?
It's already happening.
Well, no, the EG against.
Oh, I'm sorry. EG, like I don't know their opponent. I'm talking about Nefarious in the upper bracket. EG does not have a match for a while because of the lower bracket, how it's staged.
Gotcha.
So they'll be down the lower for a little bit, waiting it out.
Gotcha.
So EG's down there, and also Bread got swept by Afterthought, so they are down in the lower bracket.
Whoa!
Afterthought is playing Rogue right now in the quarterfinals.
Bread got swept.
They got swept. They didn't get that bread this time.
Hey, they're not done yet. They're not done yet. It's double elimination.
It's true. But it's gonna be a long journey now.
Wouldn't it be cool if someone made it from lower bracket round 1?
Yeah, so that is lower round 2 technically on this, but say for like Evil Geniuses, they have to win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have to win 7 series. And if that rings any bells, that's what Cloud9 did at the World Championship, won 7 in a row to win it. So that's what EG has to do, or Brett, 7 in a row.
All right, we'll see. That's very interesting. I'm interested. I'm gonna need to pull up the bracket to see the implications for our upper bracket and all that. But yeah, upsets happen on weekends like this. EG was looking really strong earlier too.
Yeah, and both those upsets on the same side of the bracket too, so that moves that side up a little bit more. Right here, a little bit of a bad touch, and Alpha comes in and just cleans it up. And a demo, once again, from Revelation. That's what they're trying to do. Splyce is definitely a teamwork-oriented team, and if you take out one of those cogs of the machine, sometimes it breaks down. And right there, we see Revelation trying to get aggressive a lot and just go for these demos, and they're starting to pay off.
And again, very important match here, ladies and gents. If you're just now tuning in, we're in the upper bracket, best of 5 between Splyce and Revelation, round of 16 in the upper bracket, I believe. Winner of this plays against Ghost, and Revelation, they are against the wall here. They need to come up with a win here and in the next game in order to advance in the upper bracket. Otherwise, there is a lower bracket, so both of these teams will have another chance if they were to fall. So the pressure's on Revelation right now, trying to keep it on the orange side. They're up 1-0, so there could be something to be said for playing it a little bit more safe and holding on to a lead, but you got to think they're going to be looking for more goals. That's a little bit of an open net left for Splyce, but Revelation, they're going to want to extend this lead as much as they can here.
Yeah, for sure. So in terms of like playstyle changes, like maybe if you have a 3-goal lead early, that's when you start being like, all right, let's play a little bit safer, but a 1-goal lead, 3 minutes left, like you're not going to change too much. Like even a 2-goal lead with 3 minutes left, you can't really change too much just yet. Like it's probably about a goal a minute. Like maybe if you're up 2 with 2 minutes, you play a tiny bit safer. But right now, both these teams are going to play exactly how they normally would, up until probably like 30 seconds or a minute for that 1-goal lead.
I wonder about that sometimes because we've seen such close matches in grand finals where teams are like 0-0 the whole time, like between 2 European teams or something.
Yeah.
And maybe there is a slight change when you're up 1-0 in Game 6 of a grand final and you know the matches have been close.
Yeah, like I think a LAN and a grand final like that, I think things get a little different because you're going to be nervous, so you might want to play safe more often than not, just because you feel like you have to. Here, the ceiling pass almost works out.
What an opportunity, but what an incredible save on the blue side. Pretty much perfect pass play on Splyce. Karma had a bullet to the bottom left, but that's exactly where a player from Revelation was, so we're seeing some juicy Rocket League here. Some good plays from both teams.
Yeah, for sure.
Soul on the side, or ZPS I should say, trying to get it to the middle, but Jwiz on defense, trying to get a goal happening for Splyce. Splyce wants to end it right now. They do not want to go to a game 5. They might have heard the whispers of the upsets happening in the bracket. So Splyce definitely going to be looking to pour on some pressure here. 90 seconds to go in this game number 4. Revelation keeping the pressure going, but Nosedude and Karma double committing to that shot. Nosedude ending up with it, trying to pass it to the middle. Alpha on defense. Karma is there trying to swing it over to Jwiz. He's trying to get a shot off. Karma missing on the side. There's a whip from Alpha as well, but Tcorell finally able to clear it over to ZPS. A nice shot in the direction of the goal, but now Jwiz with control. The pressure is certainly on for Splyce here. Only a minute left to tie up this game.
And Splyce keeps trying for these backboard passes that are kind of standard right now. Like I want to see some infield passing that might change things up, because right now, like Revelation is reading all these backboard passes, and they are getting right in front of the shooters. So Splyce is not really getting that quality of chances out of these plays.
And I feel like Revelation doing a great job extending those plays on offense, just getting another touch in there, buying a little bit more time. But now is the time for Splyce. They have to make something happen right now. Only 30 seconds left. Nosedude with a good shot across the field. Jwiz trying to follow it up, but there's Revelation on defense. A double commit could be a mistake. I think that was Nosedude that was there trying to send it the other way. There's a nice bump from ZPS, but Karma playing fast, leaping in there and trying to get the ball in the middle. Only 20 seconds to go. Splyce trying to book their ticket in the next round. They need a goal right now. Revelation, there's a whiff on the side, but they're keeping it on the orange half. Nosedude trying to pass it over to Karma. This could be the last chance. There's a demo. Can she pop it up? No boost for her. Sending it forward, but she can't really do much with no boost. This could be it.
Right there. Oh, almost saved. You see Revelation, they started to panic a little bit at the end with 30 seconds left. They wanted to play it safe and make sure clears happen. That's where you start getting double commits happening. They had 2 in a row, but Splyce getting a little too aggressive on some of their challenges, and the ball would spill back into their corner, and that's going to waste 5 to 10 seconds every single time that happens. And Revelation, they hold on, and they get to that game 5, that decider game, where literally anything can happen. And again, like with all these upsets, we haven't seen too many on their side of the bracket, except for the Peeps taking down Compadres, which is not a huge one. But who knows? Like, if you can get more reps in, you play a team like Ghost, who just made a roster move, they could be vulnerable, very similar to EG, and they can make a run here.
Yeah, I mean, and it's pretty interesting how that game was just a 1-0. It ended up being that first goal that decided the result. And that's what can happen in these really high stakes, really high level games where you are playing smart and you are making sure you can do everything you can to make sure your team can succeed.
Oh, the counter attack there from Revelation. A very simple pass and play here from Alpha to ZPS, but they knew that no one was back on defense. We see Nosedude, he tried to half rotate because no one was back. He had to stop that shot there because he was going to get beat back to the net. And Splyce, they just give a wide open net away. And Revelation, an early 1-0 lead in game number 5. And this is what happened in game number 4, and they held on. Ooh, Karma, risky play there. Zombie tries to finish it off, but he cannot. And Splyce gets away with one there.
Yeah, and you know, this is the time for Splyce. They're down 1-0, and look at this pressure. This pressure is incredible. Double commits on the Splyce side as well, but this is the time for Splyce to step up. This is an All-CS team. They want this to be their year, 2019. So they have to step up here and look out for some plays to be made because there's no time for any more mistakes. Tied 2-2 and a best of 5.
And Zombie was so incredibly close to that double tap. A great pass out here. He didn't use the wall. He was on the wall. Nosedude, he comes out and just scoops this ball right off the wall, throws it back to Jwiz, and just barely beating the goalkeeper there of Alpha. And Jwiz has been getting set up a lot throughout this series, but he is finishing them when it matters most. And now we have a tie game, 4 minutes left. Anyone's game but Zombie. He had that double tap. He was inches away from a 2-0 lead and just barely missed out.
Oh, potential opportunity there. I'm a little surprised Karma didn't shoot it, but she was trying to pass it to Nosedude, but Nosedude was going back for boost, so a little bit of miscommunication there. And I really do like that goal that we just saw between Nosedude and Jwiz. Oh, you know, sending it back to the basics. This is definitely calculated, definitely intentional. Nosedude brought it to the corner, he slowed it down, waited for Jwiz to be in the middle, and just passed it over, and they got a goal. So maybe we'll see more of that. The calculated, like, all right, let's set up some plays, let's get back to the basics here, and let's try to get this win. Like right here, kind of, it's a middle pass to Karma. Got to make those, but ZPS doing a great job getting on that backboard. But again, really like to see the plays coming out from Splyce here. It's crunch time right now. This is serious time, serious mode, and we'll have to see what they pull out here to avoid being defeated here by Revelation.
Yeah, that was a big play there where Alpha was on a 1v2 and made a poor touch, but Karma, she wanted the double tap instead of just trying to like get above the ball. Like, I think she was a little bit too close to it, so she had to go for it. But that wasted just a little bit more time, and that allowed Revelation to get back and make a defensive play.
Yeah, Karma having to play a lot of defense here. She's been kind of just chilling in the goal, and she just got demoed right there as well, so maybe out of boost. But the pressure is on. Revelation is keeping that ball on the orange side, so we got to look out for some plays from Splyce here to try to get some momentum on their side. But this is it. Again, tied 1-1, game 5. We're halfway through, 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Who can maintain their composure? What a save from Nosedude. Who can make the plays? Who can maintain their composure? As we get to the end of this series, Splyce sending it over to the blue side. Nosedude in the corner trying to get it to the middle, but Tcorell is there, sending it back the other way, and now Alpha going to go for a chance up to the top, passing it to the middle. ZPS, a great shot, trying to get a double touch. Tcorell going to try to clean it up, but the defense is there. Karma getting demoed in the net, and no one is there to support, and that's a goal. Every team member getting involved in that play for the goal from Revelation.
So 2 scoring chances back-to-back with infield passes, but both low shots. So what do? They force a bad rebound, and again, they get the demo. And that breaks down the Splyce machine, and they get a wide-open net. And Revelation, they want to be on Axel Toss's stream a little bit longer here, it seems like.
For sure, they're doing exactly what they have to do. And just that goal there, just so much pressure, just pouring on the pressure, making their presence known. And almost opportunity there, but literally trying to put the game in a state where there's no other option unless they get a goal. Like just setting it up so they have to get a goal in this possession by applying just that much pressure. So it's up to Splyce to slow it down and figure something out, because there's not a lot of time left. 90 seconds. Splyce has got to step up.
And this is where those Renegade Cup, that experience for Revelation comes in, where they've been having some high pressure games. Like again, they lost in 7 games to the Peeps. They know how to play against these teams and compete. And let's see if they can handle this pressure here. Where Splyce, we know they've been there. They were in the promotion tournament, which is the most nerve-wracking tournament there is for Rocket League. So Splyce knows how to play under this. We'll see if Revelation can do the same.
Here we go, pass play. Karma over to the middle. Jwiz a little bit high, and Tcorell is there. Jwiz might have had an angle if he lowered it just a little bit to get that in the goal. But for now, just an opportunity that's going to pass on by Revelation, going to try to send it back the other way. This is it for Splyce. They've got to make something happen. The impetus is on them. The pressure is on them. They are down a goal with only 30 seconds remaining. What is Splyce going to do here? Jwiz on defense. You know, they didn't necessarily expect to be in this situation.
1v3. If he can make the play happen, he's trying to throw it middle as fast as possible. And now all 3 back in defense. Nosedude has to try and beat all 3. He shoots it just a little bit too high, but honestly, he had to. There was 3 people in the net. He had to make
up to Karma.
Perfect shot. Karma with the flip reset over to Jwiz. The handbrake turns. He's got no momentum, and Zombie clears it out. And this could be it. He's just trying to kill time. He tries for the 50-50. The ball goes in the air. Karma gets the clear. No one is there. And Revelation, they get the upset. They beat Splyce in 5. The well-oiled machine of Splyce. No roster changes. No excuses for them. Revelation come out and